Let's join Peter Smith.
Light comes on, 3,218 metres, and they're off and racing. The first jump comes up after about 100 metres, and October Prince was the best to jump and led early by a length and a half to High Man 2 on the outside of Misty Cardo, all over the first one safely. They've drawn out by about 3, nearly 4 lengths away now to Signalling in 4th placing, a length and a half away then to Tassie Shout, and last of all, and he's already about 10 or 12 lengths off the lead, would be Highland Ranger. After that first jump, they've got a run of about 400 metres to jump to, and they've got 3 of them in the straight then, and at the top of the straight they swing now. The first of the 3 coming up, October Prince led by a length. In second placing, High Man 2. Back on the inside, dropped in for the trail, was Misty Cardo over the second one. About 4 lengths away Signalling. It's 6 lengths then to Tassie Shout, and 3 lengths away Highland Ranger. Over the second in the straight at the 200, all over it safely, and they come down towards the third and final one in the straight the first time round, and October Prince is on top by a length. High Man 2 second. Misty Cardo with the sit behind them. Tassie Shout made a bit of a mess of that one. It's back in 5th placing, 5 lengths in front of it Signalling. It trails the first 3 by about 8 lengths, and 4 lengths last of all at the moment, Highland Ranger. So the field of 6, but they're strung out over quite a bit of territory. They've got another jump at about the 2,000 metre mark, and October Prince up and over it safely. High Man 2 on the outside, Misty Cardo the inside, still 8 lengths Signalling. 4 lengths away Tassie Shout. He's starting to ride it along now, and then still 3 or 4 lengths away to Highland Ranger with the job to do. Towards the back they head now with about 1,800 metres left to go, and it's still October Prince. He's been on top from the outset. In second placing, High Man 2 sitting up there most of the way so far, and Misty Cardo has always had the trail behind them all the way. They've got another jump coming up at the 1,600. First 3 over it. Signalling's over it safely, so too Tassie Shout, and gee, Highland Ranger's still got a big job to do. He'd have to be 15 to 20 lengths off the lead. Another one nearing the 1,400, and they're all over it safely, and now getting up on the inside Misty Cardo with October Prince the centre, and this has my High Man 2 out 3 wide over the next one. Still 8 lengths away Signalling, 2 lengths to Tassie Shout. He's trying to get it moving, but they just can't pick up ground these last 3, and then about 6 lengths away Highland Ranger. Gee, I don't know if I like its chances at the 1,200, and now it's again October Prince the inside and High Man 2 the outside, just shading it. 2 lengths away then Misty Cardo. Now the other 2 are starting to pick up ground. Tassie Shout going to the first 3 over the next one at the 1,000. Signalling was also making ground, and still about 8 lengths away to Highland Ranger, but now he's starting to get a move on. Racing down to where they started from, and it's High Man 2 kicking away now to lead 6 lengths. From October Prince, it's gone. Tassie Shout runs to second from Misty Cardo Signalling. Highland Ranger is still last, but he's starting to make ground over the next one. They've got 2 to jump in the straight left to go, with about 650 left to run, and High Man 2's opened up a break of at least 8 lengths, might be more. From in second placing Tassie Shout, 2 lengths away Signalling, a length and a half away Highland Ranger, and then a couple to October Prince and Misty Cardo, who are under pressure, but on the home turn, and I don't think they're going to catch this leader. With 400 to run, High Man 2, I'd say he only has to jump the last 2 to win. Now Highland Ranger's starting to get warm. He's going out after Tassie Shout for second money, and Signalling further back. Oh, gee, stumbled at the second last, the leader, High Man 2. He's lucky to still be on his feet. He leads by about 6 or 8 lengths. Highland Ranger's gradually starting to get out after him from Tassie Shout. He made the last one okay, though, High Man 2. He's dead on his feet. Highland Ranger is starting to pick up ground very, very quickly. High Man 2 is absolutely walking. Highland Ranger dies, but he won't get there, and High Man 2 wins by a length, Highland Ranger. 4 lengths away then Tassie Shout, a good gap Signalling, a further gap October Prince, and Misty Cardo was a long last.
3-1-5, race 1, Adelaide, the Mohawk Hurdle. High Man 2 just lasting to defeat Highland Ranger, and third placing to Tassie Shout.
Set now, lights on. We're off and racing in the second on the program. Man of Justice, one of the better ones to begin with. Mob Law showing speed out wide on the track. Peace Mission was going with them also. Down towards the inside there would have been Brighton Rock. Waverley Queen looked to be in that division too, with Louder Now was up there. Also just behind them would have been Comerham Park, driving through towards the centre for Rika. Is going up towards the leading bunch. Just behind the leaders then was Spirit of Emily. Further back in the field then we had Gazette Girl, Shady Aspect, and also there was Fire Twig. Gee, they're pretty well packed up. Back at the tail was Zero Lad, and round the turn there's about 4 in line. We've got Brighton Rock the inside. Farika was there in the centre with Waverley Queen and Peace Mission. Mob Law's very wide on the track from Comerham Park just behind them. They were followed further back in the field then, looking to go between runners by Louder Now. Oh, there's a bit of rough going on there. Gilded Cage was checked. Back in behind them, Shady Aspect, Cormoran Park, Spirit of Emily and Man of Justice to the outside, 200 to run. And Farika is the leader from Louder now on the outside. Coming at them down on the inside, Shady Aspect and Mob Law out wider on the track. It's Shady Aspect getting up on the inside, doing best, and Shady Aspect's going to score. Dead heat for second, Farika or Louder now. Cormoran Park's run fourth, Spirit of Emily and Gilded Cage close up out wide. Mob Law was always very wide. Fire Twig was next in from Peace Mission. They are followed by Gazette Girl. Further back in the run then, Man of Justice, Zero Lad, Brighton Rock well back with Waverley Queen.
6 in a photo after race 2 at Morphettville. Number 6, Shady Aspect, Ricky Peach the winner, and the judge calling for a photo between 1 and 8.
That's on. They're off and racing now in the third on the card, and Elite Galaxy was away quickly out wide on the track. Going away well was Social Raffle down towards the inside. Brisk Bacon, Double Protocol was up wider on the track. Tumid Park driving through. Legend Bear is just behind the leading division, out a bit deep though. Kamovsky Sadar down towards the inside. Back behind the leading pack then would have been Betrayed. It's back on the inside. Brahms Bay was a little bit deep on the track. Miss Metro's a fair way back in the field. Further back then to Elite Galaxy. Should be Casino Wonder rather on the inside. Tanneroy was back towards the tail, and as they make the swing at about the 600, it's Social Raffle, the leader from Elite Galaxy. Brisk Bacon the inside. Back behind them then Pimento Star. They were followed further out on the track then by Double Protocol. It's always been wide. Next behind them Legend Bearer, Betrayed. They are followed further back by Kamovsky Sadar, Casino Wonder. Further back in the run then Betrayed, well out of it Lord Taverner, Tumid Park, Miss Metro, Tanneroy and last Brahms Bay with 200 to run though. And the leader Brisk Bacon kicked away by a couple of lengths now to Elite Galaxy. Down the outside, Legend Bearer from Kamovsky Sadar, and still there Social Raffle, Tumid Park, but Brisk Bacon too good. It's racing away. Brisk Bacon wins 3.5 lengths. Second placing pulling up on the line. Elite Galaxy's just got there from Tumid Park. Kamovsky Sadar was next in from Social Raffle, Legend Bearer. Pimento Star was next along in the field then from Casino Wonder. But
ladies and gentlemen,
missing it pretty
Racing
badly,
Adelaide race 4, here's Peter
Would
Smith.
have been 2 or 3 lengths behind them when it got going. Vain Mindy was a bit slow. The favourite Nura's away pretty well on the inside. It's going to lead early from Telbin, Miss Imperial Walk. Nadine was away pretty well to be in a forward position. Back on the inside then Zamata was about 5th. In the centre, Southern Sunset, God's Girls Trap 3 wide. A couple of lengths away then to Proud Lil with Indian Feather on its outside. Then 2 lengths away Rum Cutter at the 1200. At about 3 lengths to the 2 that were a little slow. Vain Mindy, and going past it now was Myalura. They make the run onto the side of the course now with just over 1,000 to run, and it's Nura on the inside, about a half a length clear from Nadim, moving up second. Back on the Raz, Imperial Walks getting a nice run. Outside next then would have been Telbon, miss a length further back in the field then to God's Girls, never been on the track. In the centre, Southern Sunset from Zamata, back on the Raz, a length further back Indian Feather. Proudlure was next on the inside. Rum Cutters under the whip, third last. Second last, Vain Mindy, and dropping back to the tail was Myalura. They're on the home bend now with about 600 metres to run, and the favourite's been in front from the outset, Nura, and it kicked away to lead by 2 or 3 lengths now to Telbon, Miss Imperial Walk, both ridden along. They're 2 lengths clear of Nadim under pressure now. God's Girl further back in the field from Indian Feathers, Amada. Southern Sunset, Proud Lil's on the outside, but they're all a long way off the lead. Well back, Vain Mindy into the straight though. Nura kept going. 2 or 3 lengths clear from Telbon, Miss Imperial Walk. Indian Feathers making up some ground from Proud Lil down the outside, but Nura just kept going. It leads by 2 or 3 lengths. Telbon Miss running about a little bit. Indian Feathers getting into third placing now, but the favourite Nura is going to be too good, and a good performance to lead all the way. Nura by 2.5 lengths. Telbon Miss 3 lengths away, getting up for third. Indian Feather in advance of Imperial Walk. Every chance from Proud Lil. Vain Mindy's made up some ground in the run home. It's beaten half the field home, including Zamata, Nadim, God's Girl, Rum Cutter, Myalura, and Southern Sunset has finished at the tail.
Clear-cut win to the top weight there. Nura 1, 7 and 5.
Copy. Set to go racing here at Morphettville.
Racing Adelaide, here's Peter Smith.
Away pretty well towards the centre, Charfire. Bold Game was showing good speed. Also down towards the inside, Sports Scene out wide on the track. Rash Ruler was up there early. And on settling, Bold Game will lead by a couple of lengths now. 2 in second placing, Singapore Lad. Rash Ruler off the track. Sports Scene in behind them at the 800. San Juan Amigo there in the centre from Triple Dealer. Charfire was also in that pack there, followed by Call Me the Breeze and a pack fill behind the leader. Back back on the inside, Go Robbo from Wavebreaker. Well back, Warrior King, and last of all was Solo Affair. They're on the turn with 500 to run now, and Bold Game making every post a winner, led by a length and a half. Singapore Lad into second, placing clearly now from Runaway Night, getting to third. The inside then behind them would have been Triple Dealer, driving right up behind the leader. Further back then would have been Call Me the Breeze, Charfire, San Juan Amigo. They are followed then by Rash Ruler. Running up behind them was Wavebreaker at the 200. Bold Game the leader. Coming at it on the outside, Singapore Lad. Getting up on the inside in the all-white Triple Dealer. Triple Dealer's the one, I think. It's grabbed the lead nearing the post from Bold Game and Singapore Lad, and he comes away, Triple Dealer, to win nearly 2 lengths. Second placing Bold Game, just in advance of Singapore Lad from Runaway Night. They are followed in then by Call Me the Breeze, Wavebreaker, San Juan Amigo. Next along in the field then Solo Affair, followed home by Go Robbo. Sports Scene, Charfire finished well back with Rash Ruler, and Warrior King was last home.
8-4-11 as called by Peter Smith in the first leg of the double at Morphettville this afternoon. Number 8 Triple Dealer first, 4 Bold Game second, and 11 Singapore Lad third. 8-4-11 race 5. Now race 6 is the Puncheon handicap, time to go at 3:35, and we'll check the opening tote call in a moment. Here they are now. Magic Constev $1.30 and 60. Mr. Bart's $4.60 and 120. Starcade number 4 $2.45 and 85. Just a Commoner is $4.30 and 130. The Old Vic $3.60 and 105. And number 9 Elusive Gambler $4.65 and 180. They're the main chances for winners in the Metropolitan season. Roy.
The light flashing, but an attendant's hopping in to help one down on the inside, but now they're off and racing that one. They help Mr. Bart's jump nicely too. In fact, he's going to lead clearly on settling down. Silver Raider was working across. Chorus Music drops in behind them with the Old Vic up there in the centre. It was away nicely. Starcade's a little bit wider on the track, back and behind them in the all-white Geezer. Its stablemate Magic Constev was on the outside, and they are followed then by Just a Commoner, and 2 or 3 lengths away last of all was Elusive Gambler. Racing on the turn now at the 1200 metre mark, and Silver Raider's gone to the front again. He's going to try and pinch it again today. He led by 4 lengths now as they race onto the side. Second placing Mr. Bart's. In the centre there would have been the Old Vic, and out wide on the track Just a Commoner trying to improve. Back and behind them next along then was Chorus Music. Further back Starcade's been out wide all the way. In the centre Magic Constev, and then a length further back together would have been Geezer and Elusive Gambler. Racing past the 800 metre mark now, heading towards the home turn, and the leader still Silver Raider by 2 or 3 lengths to the Old Vic, getting out after it now on the outside of Mr. Bart's. Just a Commoner is 4th on the outside of Chorus Music. A length and a half away then was Magic Constev and Starcade rather with the job to do. Elusive Gambler around the outside, and 4 lengths away then to Geezer. On the turn, 400 to run. Silver Raider just the leader by half a length to the Old Vic on the outside. Mr. Bart's under pressure. Chorus Music further back in the field to the centre of the track. Magic Constev and Elusive Gambler down the outside, and further back Just a Commoner. At the 200 though, they've got to get Silver Raider. Led 2 or 3 lengths. Magic Constev down the outside with Elusive Gambler. Silver Raider in front. Magic Constev's coming at it strongly on the outside. Magic Constev did best and got up to win. A neck on the post, Silver Raider. A length and a half away, Elusive Gambler's run third from Mr. Bart's. Also there, the Old Vic Chorus Music. Geezer's beaten a couple home. Starcade and Just a Commoner. Oh, gee,
1, 3 and 9 over the line. A race 6 in Adelaide. Number 1 Magic Constev getting up in the last couple of bounds to defeat Silver Raider number 3 with number 9 Elusive.
Second leg of today's double, and they're off and racing now. Gee, there are a few that are a bit slow away. Angel Glow was very, very poorly away. It missed the start by 8 lengths, but there appeared to be a few out wide that were slow. Lappy Lad included, and so too Hurlin back to the tail of the main body. Up front at the 1400, Duke Corio was going to the lead now with Chapel Street up there and Storm Treasure. Gambardo was also up in that pack early, looked to be there. Also would have been Regal Dan Saratov back and behind them from Wizzy Mo, Ace Kiwis midfield. A length and a half then to Skyborough. A length further back in the run then would have been Contented Soul. Back behind it, Merry Mixture. They are followed by McMonva around the outside. Lappy Lad was back in that pack there, and further back in the field then. Next along on the inside would have been Hurlin. Back there with Hurlin was Ace. Up in front of those True Finish, and 10 lengths away was Angel Glow. Racing down towards the 800 metre mark, and the leader Duke Corio by 3/4 to Chapel Street. Storm Treasure behind them, 2 lengths Wizzy Mo. Further back in the field, Ace Kiwi making ground. Saratov back on the inside. Sky Skyborough is also making some ground. Regaldan losing ground. Further back then, Gambado contented. Sol McMonvey. True Finish on the inside. Lappy Lad well out of it with Hurl and Ace. Well back, Merry Mixture, and forget all about Angel Glow on the home bend. Just over 400 to run. Duke Corio joined by Chapel Street on the outside. Wizzy Mo was coming at them, and so too Ace Kiwi around the outer. They're clear of Saratov going for inside runs. Further back, Skyborough under pressure. True Finish making ground from Storm Treasure. Racing him with 200 to run, and Wizzy Mo on the outside's taken the lead now. From in the centre, Chapel Street, Duke Corio, Saratov the inside. True Finish making some ground, but Wizzy Mo in front from Chapel Street, and True Finish, which is dashing home late. Wizzy Mo will get up though and win by a length. Second, True Finish, a nice run, just in advance of Chapel Street, Duke Corio. Saratov behind them then from Skyborough, Ace Kiwi contended, Sol Hurlin. Merry Mixture was next in from Lappy Lad. They are followed then by Storm Treasure Ace. A gap away in the field then to Angel Glow, Gambado, Regaldan, and McMonvey was last home.
9, 20 and 2 as called by Peter Smith. Race 7 at Morphettville this afternoon. Number 9, Wizzy Mo first. Number 20, True Finish second. And number 2, Chapel Street third. Race 8 at Morphettville. Pioneer Homes Handicap. 2 scratchings, 8 and 13. And the opening tote call is about to come up on the final event time for 4.
A bit of a problem, but he gets back on board now. And we're just about set for a start. Race 8 on the program. Perhaps he's back next week from holidays, and he'll be heading up to Port Augusta for the carnival. Now they're set and they're off and racing now in the final event on the program, and looking for an early leader. Telenika was away pretty well with New Gent out wider on the track towards the inside. Tagerman's driving up. Moselle Miss was up there in the early stages. Isaac's pushing through on the inside to be well placed early. Out a bit deeper on the track then would have been Princess Calabrina. Flying Kisses getting back to midfield now. Winter Shower was also midfield there. Further back then Tallyman, Mr. Danceman getting back with Ithnane. Well back in the field then would have been Top Surf, Have a Long Dash, and Bold Currency was last of all. They race in with about 650 metres left to go, about to make the home turn, and New Gent on the outside the leader, but Tagerman's got the inside running. Moselle Miss third. Driving through on the inside to be fourth now was Tallyman from Telenika. Isaac was next between runners, then Winter Shower going for runs between horses. Flying Kiss was back on the inside from Princess Calabrina. Top Surf, Mr. Danceman. Ithnane well out of it from Have a Long Dash, and Bold Currency in the straight, 300 to run. Out in the centre, New Gent is the leader from Tagerman, and Tallyman getting up on the inside. Flying Kiss going for inside runs, and down the outside comes Winter Shower. It's Tallyman the inside. Winter Shower the outside from New Gent. Tallyman the one on the inside though, doing better, and Tallyman will win the last by a length and a half. Winter Shower gets second, a length and a half away New Gent. Princess Calabrina running on when it was all over. So too was Have a Long Dash. Further back in the field then Ithnane, Tagerman. Flying Kiss was next from Telenika. Bold Currency, Top Surf, Moselle Miss, Mr. Danceman, and Isaac. Isaac's run last.
15, 11 and 7 as called by Peter Smith in the final event at Morphettville this afternoon. Number 15, Tallyman, D. Cleaver the winner. From 11, Winter Shower, P. Shepherd, and number 7, New Gent, A.